Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Beer Garden this week. We're going to start off the new year trying to catch you guys a triple trio. Well, New Year's over in Hong Kong, but over here in America and also in the UK, we're still New Year's Eve. So we have a big jackpot over at Sha Tin with races 5, 6, and 7, which translates to 10 million point five Hong Kong dollars. So that's about $1 million US and then about £1 million. So you're not gonna have to work another day in your life after watching the Beer Garden. We're gonna go straight into it. Race number 5. We have two selections to try to get your triple trio, and that's going to be the Flame Tree Handicap. It's a Class 3 race over 1,600 meters, so we're going a mile. And Shireen, I'm gonna let you start. Ladies first. What do we have in this one?
Yeah, in the first leg, I will have number 7, True Legend, as my first choice because we can see that recently True Legend were racing over the all-weather track. However, he is also a two-time turf winner when he was 3-year-old in Hong Kong, and I think that he is still able to perform well on the turf. Recently, True Legend had a barrier trial at Chung Fa, which was quite impressive. He jumped fast and finished well, and I think that this time moving back to the turf track, he can also have some good performance. So number 7, True Legend, will be my first pick. And then my second pick will be the class dropper, number 1, Kilidini. He has really good form before coming to Hong Kong in South Africa. But unfortunately, after he arrived in Hong Kong, he had some injury, so maybe this will affect his performance. But this time we see that he will be racing in Class 4 for the first time. I think that the rivals are weaker than last time out in Class 3, so I hope that he can have some better performance. And also this time he will be jumping from gate 3, which is quite good. I think that he can take the advantage of the inside gate, maybe sitting behind the leader, which is my first choice, True Legend. So that would be quite a good position for him. So my two selection in the first leg will be number 7, True Legend, and number 1, Kilidini.
Yeah, True Legend also has formed behind Lucky Patch and raced against them and got 5th. And Steve, I know you have a similar pick as well. So who do you have? Who are your two selections?
Well, great minds think alike. I went also for Kilindini, number 1, drawn 3, a class dropper, as Shireen says. And yes, he was last time 5th to Fafa, 9th to Fafa at Happy Valley in a Class 2, and that was on International Jockeys Night. So Morera on board, he's lightly raced. And the Tony Millard stable always seems to be in very good form. The other one I went for is another legend, not True Legend, but Storm Legend. Casper Found seems to be hitting his, is it straps? Is that what they say? Seems to be finding his stride these days. He's in better form. And Storm Legend was an eye-catcher last time on his local debut over 1,400 metres. He had no luck in running under Vincent Ho. Caris Teton takes over here. So for me, yes, Kilindini, number 1, drawn 3, and number 3, Storm Legend, drawn 2.
Yeah, Storm Legend, also a 3-year-old. We have another 3-year-old in this race. And Sarah, who do we have for your selections, your top 2?
My top 2, I'm with Shireen here on True Legend. Like she mentioned, he's a 2-time turf winner in his 3-year-old career. He kind of had a little bit of a rough time out in last race in November at Sha Tin. But now that he's coming back and dropping just the 1,500 meters off, so running at that 1,600 mark, I really think you're gonna really see how this horse performs quite a bit. I think the barrier draw is very beneficial for this horse. He's going to be great out of the gate. There's not too much speed around him. I just think with him coming back to the turf, he's really going to show a lot. So I'm excited to see how he runs after running on the all-weather track for some time.
And your second selection?
My second one is 8, Fearless Fire, which, he's coming out of barrier 7. He's getting a pretty decent drop in weight, which is going to benefit him. He was running most of this year at a Class 3 level. Now, they dropped him in early December to a Class 4, which I think it was just to get his confidence up. We see that out in the U.S. Horses know when they aren't winning, and which he did amazingly at that last race at Happy Valley. Now coming to Sha Tin, I think he's really going to perform well. And I really think that weight break is going to help out a lot. And I think you're going to see that how he maneuvers on this track.
Yeah, Fearless Fire also has form behind Fafa, I'm a Single Man, Master 8, who's going to be in the grade 3 later on in the program, and then also Telecom Fighters. So I actually went with Kilindini as well. So we have 3 for our triple trio with the same horse, Kilindini. And not really much to say, as Steve and Shireen really covered it, although I do wanted to mention about Kilindini is that he has form behind Pinkerton, and Pinkerton was a group winning horse over in South Africa, and he beat him. So that's one. And then the second one, I actually went with the number 4, Turin Red Sun with Harry Bentley. Draw number 1. Got a ride with Frankie Dettori as a 3-year-old, and looks like he's trying to get a little bit more. I think he's going to get more of an improvement this time around after getting 7th at Sha Tin. So to sum up our selections for this race, I went number 4, Turin Red Sun, 1 Kilindini. Steve is 1 Kilindini, 3 Storm Legend. Race 7 True Legend and 1 Kilindini for Shireen, and True Legend and Fearless 5 for race number 5 for Sara. Now we're going to go on to race number 6, and that is the Willow Handicap Class 4, 1,800 meters. And Shireen, who do we have here?
Yes, in race 6, I like number 6, Darcy Joy, the most because we just see that he has quite a good reasons from recently, but all of them is over a mile, and maybe this time up to 9 furlong will be a bit difficult for him. But after I check his pedigree, his dam sire is High Chaparral, so I believe his ability to climb up over 9 furlong. And also he is quite a dynamic horse, so this time I don't worry about the wide gate. He may stay in the midfield or be a back marker, and he can also show a quite good turn of foot. So this time up to this distance, I also believe his ability. So number 6, Darcy Joy will be my first pick. And then I also like an old one, number 12, White Elise. He will be turning 10-year-old in the New Year Day, but he is still strong recently, and he always needs a lightweight to perform well. So this time 190 pounds will be quite good for him. And recently his track work have been quite intensive, but he can still keep the weight. So I believe this 10-year-old guy can also have some good performance on Saturday. So in race 6, number 6, Darcy Joy will be my first pick, and then I also like number 12, White Elise.
Yeah, Darcy Joy, drawn 13, but has really good form and has won on a wide, or has caught a second in a wide barrier 9 in his penultimate race. And Steve, who do we have here?
Oh, I thought this was a tricky old race. I went first of all for Shanghai Dragon, number 8, drawn 1. Running well, not beaten far lately. A course and distance winner. Ruin Maya takes over from Matthew Poon. And trainer Benno Young is in fabulous form. And I also went for, he's actually rising in class here from class 5 to class 4. Super Hong Kong, number 13, drawn number 6. He's likely race for Tony Millard. And he won nicely last time at this distance at Happy Valley, as I say, stepping up in class. So that's the 2 for me, Shanghai Dragon, number 8, and number 13, Super Hong Kong.
Yeah, we have another similar selection, but I'm going to let Sara go first. Sara, who do we have in this race, the first 2 that you like?
First 2, I like the 4 AI1 here coming out of barrier 2. We got Shin aboard, which I'm pretty excited about. I mean, not only have we seen how he's improved quite a bit as a jockey here, this horse is stretching out to this 1,800 meter. He's been running at shorter distances from 14 to 16, 15. But earlier in the year, they were trying him out at quite a distance there at Sha Tin with the 2,000 meter. So I think they're really trying to pinpoint where this horse is going to be performing strong at. And I really do feel like watching his gallop outs the past few races, he's really shown that he could go that extra distance. And I think the 1,800 might be a sweet spot. And Shin's gotten him a second place back in November. So I think he's going to be a strong jockey to have on board. The other horse I like, and I'm with Shireen on, is the 6, Darcy Joy. He just, proven on Sha Tin, like was mentioned, that wide barrier draw. He did get a second placing from a wide barrier draw, but he has great gate speed. And I do agree that he's going to sit probably midfield here and then really, have a great turn of foot here in the stretch. Just a really interesting horse, I think. So I'm excited to see how he's going to do trying this 1600 out again at Sha Tin.
Yeah, and I went the same way with Sara. AI won with Blake Shin the last two starts, a second and a third. But then in Australia, he has won over the 1800 meters. And as Sara said, this is a 1800-meter race, so he's going to try to win in Hong Kong in the 1800-meter race. And I'm also with Steve with Super Hong Kong with João Moreira. Gets an up in class, won last time out with João Moreira with barrier 8, draws barrier 6, has a win at Happy Valley. So those are our selections. So to recap, race number 6, my selection is 4 AI1 and 13 Super Hong Kong. Steve is Shanghai Dragon and 13 Super Hong Kong. Shireen has Darcy Joy number 6 and 12 Red Ulysses. And Sara has AI1, 4 and Darcy Joy number 6. And now we're going to go on to race number 7, the final leg of the triple trio. And if you're still alive, well, we still got more horses for you. And Shireen, who do we have?
Yeah, here, number 4, Light of Wenxi is seeking for a back-to-back win, and I believe that this season will be his peak season as a 5-year-old side by Ocean Park. And this time, after winning a good race last time out, he will be still in Class 4, which is quite competitive here. And he has been resting for a month and now refreshed. To be honest, it would be better to have Zach Purton on board, but Derek Leung takes the ride this time is also okay, because most importantly, the horse is still improving and he is doing well during his 1 month spell. And then I believe that he will be able to have a back-to-back win on Saturday. And then I also like another outsider, which is number 14, Staffmore 2. He is quite slightly raced, but in his last 2 starts over 7 furlong, he was just beaten by 2 lengths and 3 lengths, which were not bad. And I checked his pedigree, he is bred to be a miler. So number 14, Strathmore 2, this time jumping from gates 2 would be quite good. So don't underestimate this outsider. So in the final leg, I will go for number 4, Lights of Wenxi, and an outsider, number 14, Strathmore 2.
Light of Wenxi, number 4, ended up getting a win the last time out as a favorite. So we're going to see how that goes for him. And Steve, who do we have in this race?
Well, for number 10, Turquoise Alpha. He's drawn in stall number 8. I like this horse. He's at 12 runs. He's not really got going yet, but I think he's shown a bit more improvement in the last twice. He's been unlucky in running, actually, the last twice. He's at 12 runs. He was once called Edward Hopper when trained in Ireland by the very good trainer, Gerald Lyons. Taken a while to come to himself, but because of that, he's fantastically well handicapped now. He arrived here off a mark of 70. He's now down to 49. As I say, unlucky the last twice. Blake Shin on today from stall 8, which isn't too bad. So I'll be going around asking friends and family for money so I can have some a nice each way selection, nice each way bet. And a bigger price, I think a slightly bigger price. Leading Fortune, number 13. Drawn number 5, very well handicapped as well, reasonably well handicapped on old form. And Moreira's always shows a great deal of loyalty with this horse. He's been on all 4 starts this so far. And he showed a bit more last time. He was third to Ezra, which was a bit of a revival. So I think he might go well too from a nice weight, leading forward. So basically, he's number 10, Turquoise Alpha, and 13, Leading Fortune.
Yeah, Leading Fortune's form line also has Darcy Joy, who we just talked about earlier, and then Light of Wenxi, who's also in this race. And Sara, who do we have to end out the triple trio?
Well, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that Shireen and I are going to be on fire because we had a lot of the same horses. I am, again, on the 4, Light of Wenxi as well. Shireen brought up a lot of similar points. I think this horse really needs that period to freshen up because when he comes back after his freshen up period, he does extremely well. So now that he's coming back after a little bit over a month, coming back to running this distance, I think you're really going to see quite a bit. You know, last time out, he won at the 1600 at Sha Tin over Darcy Joy, and which we talked about last race. But it's his 3rd attempt at this distance, this latter half of this year. I think we're going to see quite a bit. This might just be a horse that needs some layoffs. And I've seen horses quite a bit like that over in the States as well. So I think with the barrier draw, I'm not too worried about. I agree with Shireen that I wish Purton was in the irons, but Derek's not a bad option either. The other horse I like is the 7 Nimble Nimbus, which he's stretching out in this distance, which I think is really great for this horse. You really kind of watch how he raced the past few times out and looked like he really could use that extra distance. So I'm excited to see how he performs. He's jumping out of barrier 9, which I think is one of the most beneficial barrier draws he could have gotten in this field. So we will see how he really does. We get Bentley aboard. You know, Bentley's been also a jockey that has seemed to impress quite a bit the last half of 2021, and now see how he does going into 2022. So I did the 4 Light of Wanchi and 7 Nimble Nimbus.
Oh, we got another one here with Sara and myself. Nimble Nimbus is one of my picks as well, with Harry Bentley. I think one of the underrated jockeys, I think, in all of Hong Kong Jockey Club. Look, he's had last 2 starts, second and third, and and then his third start was a 4th. So I think he's going to try to get into form in this race. An interesting runner that I put in just to throw in off of an equipment change is number 11, Flying Mighty with Dylan Moe. Gets a lighter weight. He has a bad draw, but he has had form over in Australia before coming over. And then on top of that, the cheek pieces come off and the blinkers come on. So they're going to try to have him focus more in the race. So to sum up our recap for race number 7, I have number 11, Flying Mighty, 7, Nimble Nimbus, number 10, Turquoise Alpha, and 13, Leading Fortune for Steve. Shireen has Light of Wanchi number 4 and 14, Strathmore 2, and Sara is with Light of Wanchi number 4 and 7, Nimble Nimbus. And now we're going to go on to our favorite part of the Beer Garden, and that is the best bets powered by Racequant. And Shireen, we have 2 grade 3s or 2 group 3s, and I know you have a best bet in one of them.
Yes, I will choose race 4. That will be the Group 3 Chinese Club Challenge Club Chinese Club Challenge Cup over 7 furlong, and I like number 6, Excellence Proposal. He will be ridden by Joe Morera and jumping from gate 2. And last season, Excellent Proposal is the Classic Mile winner, but he also has some good results over 7 furlong. Actually, it was a bit disappointed last time out in the Hong Kong Mile, but maybe the rivals were too strong, and he was just beaten by 6 lengths behind Golden 60. And I think it is also acceptable. And he will be racing in a Group 3 this time. More importantly, in this handicap race, he will just carry 125 pounds, which is the second lightest in the field. And he also ran well in the recent barrier trial. So hopefully, Excellent Proposal will bounce back on Saturday. So my best bet will be in race 4, number 6, Excellent Proposal.
Excellent Proposal has a lot of wins behind in the last season, and then ended up going to win in the Hong Kong Classic Mile, and then tried to go up against Golden 60 in the Hong Kong Mile. So we're going to see how that goes. I know Morera didn't have a win at Sha Tin during the Dirt Festival a couple days ago, so I know he's hungry for a win, and it would be great to have a start over at the grade 3s. And Steve, what is your best bet powered by Racequant?
Well, similar to Shireen, I'm looking for a horse that's looking to bounce back as well. Number 1, Fantastic Treasure. That's in race 10. It's the Cherry Handicap, the Class 2 over 1,400 meters or 7 furlongs. Fantastic Treasure. He was a perfect 5 from 5 last season under Chad Schofield. Made a nice return this term with a very good third to Trillion Way, and great things were expected last time. But he had excuses last time. He was well down the field. There was found to be blood in his trachea, and things didn't go well for him. That was in the Panasonic Cup behind Lucky Express. But and we also have a jockey change as well. Chad Schofield's off, Blake Shin takes over. So I'm hoping that Fantastic Treasure can bounce back to form. He's every chance of doing so. He's got top weight, but I think he's the class angle. And of course, Blaze Warrior is another threat in the race. But he disappointed last time behind I'm a Single Man. So hopefully Fantastic Treasure can be the winning best bet.
Race number 10, number 1, Fantastic Treasure with Blake Shin does take over the ride and had a big winning streak before the next season, and now he's going to try to bounce back with the class drop. And Sara, who do we have as your best bet powered by Racequant?
My best bet is in race 2, the Class 4 Palm Handicap at 1,200 meters. I'm going with 2 Flying Ace. We're going to see if he can string wins together. This will be, he just broke his maiden last time out at Happy Valley in a really impressive ride. Really showed a lot of that horse. Extremely strong speed figures here. I like that Poon staying in the iron. It seems Poon just seemed to really know how to steer that horse last time out. I think his barrier draw is quite beneficial for him. I like to see him more sit midfield and with his early speed to see how that goes. So I might be taking a chance here with a horse that has only have 1 win under his belt and a young horse. Well, he'll be turning 5 on New Year's Day, but I'm going to take my chance here with Flying Ace.
Flying Ace drew number 10 last time out and did get a victory barely by winning over 0.3 as the margin goes. But we're going to go for my best bet is going to be race number 9, Lucky With You. Karis Teton on board. Draws number 2, won in front-running fashion last time out, especially with Karis Teton getting hurt in that race because of that tragic fall. But he was able to bounce back and win, so I think he could go back-to-back. The rest of the field doesn't look too appealing, so I'm pretty sure Lucky With You is going to take you're going to take the shorts on Lucky With You. So to sum up our best bet, Shireen goes for race number 4, 6, excellent proposal in the grade 3. Steve goes with race 10, number 1, Fantastic Treasure. Sara goes for race number 2, Flying Ace. And my best bet, race number 9, number 5, Lucky With You. And before we go, guys, I know, Steve, you have a couple of projects going on. You also have a blog, and you also have the Great Tip Office showing your tips now.
Yes, I do. Yes, the Great Tip Office is quite good. It's a bit a shame sometimes because sometimes they don't have all the. Well, anyway, I'm digressing here. Yes, it's very exciting. I quite enjoy. Sorry, I was going down a tunnel there. Yeah, the Great Tip Office. It just gives me another opportunity for my losing selections to be seen on a wider platform. But actually, I've done quite well recently. So I've got the French racing as well that I can do. And yes, and I do my blog as well, which is very difficult because when you do a blog for all maybe 9 races at Happy Valley and 10 at Sha Tin, you know yourself, you're picking ones that you don't really have a great deal of conviction about because they're such competitive races, and sometimes you're just happy to come away from a 10-race meeting with 1 win. It can be that difficult. But yes, I got 6 out of 9 a few weeks ago. I do hope for another day like that. But yeah, great fun doing the blog. It's when you have days like today when Sha Tin's coming up on Saturday, it makes for a very difficult timeline. So I don't think I'll be doing my great blog that I normally do. It'll be a mini blog, but I'll endeavour to get that out for my faithful followers. Thank you.
Yeah, and you could also follow Steve on Twitter at Shanky's Ponies with all of his selections for French racing and also here for Hong Kong racing. And Shireen, do we have any projects coming up with yourself with starting the new year?
Yeah, recently will be this season in Hong Kong would be I already achieved some breakthrough because in the HKI I cooperate with World Horse Racing to prepare a series of video featuring the local riders and the horses. So it was quite a good experience. But currently maybe I will just focusing on our Beer Garden show and also another live show for my local newspaper company. And I will be working hard, keep working hard to keep my the result good. And to be honest, racing on Saturday would be a bit harsh because the time we have is not enough, to be honest. So maybe I have to drink more coffee to stay myself awake to study the card and study for form because there will be 11 races on the New Year day. But hopefully I will fight for the jackpot. So good luck, everyone.
Yes.
And Shireen also has her YouTube channel, Shireen Win, that you could, if you're watching this video, you could also hit the subscribe button and get some subscribers for Shireen. And Sara, do we have any projects coming up for you with the Triple Clowns?
Yes, we've quite a bit coming up. Later today, we're going to be filming our picks for Santa Anita's New Year's Day card. They have quite a bit of stakes races, including a Kentucky Derby prep. And one of my horses, this horse up here, is going to be running in the La Canada Stakes. So pretty excited there. We also have our beginning of the year shows coming out. We're doing a in memoriam for all of the big horses we lost in 2021, a 2021 wrap up. And of course, continuing on with our weekly shows and our pick shows for not only Mid-Atlantic or smaller tracks, but also the bigger tracks. And we will be having a beer garden guest joining us tonight for Santa Anita. We got Steve coming on.
I'm looking forward to that, I am.
It'll be a lot of fun. And then next, we're going to have to get Shireen on now that I know you play a bit more U.S. racing.
Yeah, I will work hard.
and you could also follow Sara on the Triple Clowns Twitter at Clowns Triple with a lot of shows that they also have their bio with any of the Beer Garden videos. So also check that out in the descriptions below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Shireen's channel. I'll be looking forward to wishing you guys a prosperous new year, many wealth, and Gong Hai Fat Choi, right? Something like that. See you later.
Good pronunciation. Good luck.